What's up, you guys? Hope you all are doing well. So, week 2 is down in the books, and as you can see here, we are $106.40 up with a 1.1% profit, which is 13% away from the 8% profit target that we're supposed to get to move from the challenging phase to the verification phase. Now, as you can remember, I think this week, maybe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, I did upload the video for week 1, of which by the end of week 1, we were $107 and some cents. And here, again, it was a 1.1% profit, and we were still at 13%. So as you can see, we are now at 106, which means we are like 1 point something dollars down this week. And if we scroll here on the calendar, this was week 1, $107.73 profit. But at the end of this week, which is week 2, we are down $1.33. But overall, we're still up 1.1%. Now, this week I took 3 trades. This was trade 1 on Monday with a loss of $51, and then this was a second trade that was also taken. This trade was taken on Thursday, minus $1.12, and then this was also taken on Wednesday with $51.60. So overall, my win rate is 50% because I took 6 trades. I took 6 trades, I lost 3 trades, I won 3 trades. So let's jump into TradingView and see these 3 trades. So breaking down the trades that I took this week, starting out with a trade that I took on Monday. As you can see, I took a buy on Monday to go long, but I was stopped out immediately with this candle over here. Now, the way that I was looking at this trade on Monday was I saw that price during London session came down to this order block over here that also had this imbalance. Now, once price reached this order block, it started reversing and going up to the upside, causing this break of structure shift. Once we had this break of structure shift, the market did retrace a little bit to the downside and then continue to move to the upside, forming this new order block that also was paired with this area of imbalance over here. Now, me seeing this, I realized that price might continue to push to the upside. Therefore, that's why I decided to take this buy over here. But as you can see, that did not work as price just went all the way down, swept these lows over here, and continue actually to push to the upside. So this was trade number 1 on Monday that I took $51 loss on it. But overall, I think the way that I was trading this trade, I did manage to follow my strategy perfectly. It's just one of those trades where there is no trading strategy that is actually perfect. And yeah, so that was trade number 1 on Monday. Now, going on Tuesday, there was this setup over here, but I did not take it. I don't know what happened here, but I was not at the charts. I can't recall exactly what happened, but if I was sitting at my desk, I was supposed to take this trade. And looking at it, the way that the result came through, I'm glad that I didn't, but I'm also not glad in a sense that I'm supposed to be executing perfectly every trade. That means if there's an opportunity that presents itself that matches the way that I trade, I am supposed to take it. So yes, this was a lost trade, but I'm not happy I didn't take it because it symbolized that I did not follow my strategy through and through. But nevertheless, I think it's important that I speak about it because this is something that I will be doing again and again if something like this repeats itself. Now, coming on Tuesday, as you can see, there was nothing on London session other than having this bullish a string of bullish candles going to the upside and causing this break of structure break of structure. And then after that, we had again this rejection over here that for me looked like again as a market structure shift, because price has been pushing to the upside, originating from this point over here. So when price came down and actually broke these lows, I saw this as a market structure shift. And because we also had this imbalance over here, this was my order block. This should have been my order block. And as you can see, price came all the way up, respected this level and started to push down, but we never took out these lows over here. If these lows would have been broken, that means my stop loss would have been above this high, because this lower high is the one that actually caused this new lower low. But because we didn't come all the way down, my stop loss would have still be up here. And as you can see, price moved down, moved up, moved down, moved up, moved down, until this stop loss was actually triggered and price actually took out the London highs. Now, once the London highs was taken, price again pushed to the downside, and it continued to push all the way to the downside. So this was Tuesday. This was a trade that was not taken, but it was a trade that was supposed to be taken. Coming on Wednesday, London session, there was nothing for me. But coming on New York session, I was actually waiting, because I didn't take any trade. I was waiting to see how the market will react off of this order block. If price would have reacted off of this order block and continued to push to the downside, that would have been an entry for me. But as you can see, price went all the way up, took up these highs and started to push to the downside. But we never actually got a retracement deep enough into this order block for me to take the trade and continue to push to the downside. And also, as you can see, price was just ranging and ranging and ranging until in the late afternoon, early evening, according to the New York Times. So these are no trade times for me. So that's why I didn't take anything on Wednesday. But on Thursday, this is where now I got the two trades. One was a loss of 1 point something dollars, and then the other one was a profit of $51. As you can see here, coming towards the London session, there was nothing much to be done. We had this, and then we had this retracement and this break over here, a minor retracement and a minor break. And then after that, we continued to start pushing to the upside. Now, originally, I was thinking of taking a trade here, but I believe there was a news event here. Let me just confirm that. Nonetheless, that's besides the point. But here, I think there was a news event here at 8:30. Yeah, there was a news event at 8:30. So that's why I was not interested in taking any trades before that news event. So after that news event was done here at 8:30, I saw this opportunity over here. I saw this sweep of liquidity. I saw this market structure shift. I saw this beautiful order block with these candles pushing to the downside. Now, the first trade that I took, which was $1.21 loss, that was actually not a trade. It was a mistake on my end when I was trying to open a trade. I made a mistake on my MT5 on my phone as I was opening a trade. So that's why the trade didn't move, because I just literally opened it and then I closed it. But I was actually aiming to trade this trade over here. But it was a recorded loss nonetheless, so that's why you are seeing it. But this was the actual trade that I wanted to take. So after pushing to the downside, the market did retrace all the way to this order block and continue to push to the downside. But now there's something else that happened here, because as you can see, this is a 1 to 3 risk reward trade. but I only managed to take $50 out of this trade instead of taking around $150. Why is that? The reason behind that is because I was actually stopped out over here, I believe. I was stopped out over here. Yeah. Yeah, I was stopped out over there for a 1%. So that's why I only got $50 out of this trade. Because in my way of thinking was that we had this movement to the downside, and then price continued to push to the downside. And then we had this, and then we had that. So for me, this was not supposed to be taken out. And by price coming all the way up here and take this lower high, for me, in my mind, it looked like price might continue to start pushing to the upside. So that's why my stop loss, I was trailing it all the way to this high low over there. But instead, what price did, it swept that high. And unfortunately for me here in this situation, price actually continued to fall down all the way throughout Friday London session. But yeah, so that was trade number 3. And then there was an opportunity on Friday, but unfortunately I also don't trade on Friday. So this was also a missed trade. So yeah, those are the 3 trades that I took. I took a loss on Monday, this one over there, and then I took a mistake of a trade here on Thursday, and then this trade again on Thursday. Going on the lesson that I learned this week is still the same thing that I've been wanting to do for this series, and that is to make sure the only thing that matters to me is flawless execution of all the trades. And what that actually means is I need to be able to follow my strategy 100%. If the trade setup is there that fits 100% according to the strategy, I need to take it. Even if it's going to end up as a loss or it's going to be ending up as a profit, I still need to take that trade. So instead of my mind being, instead of my head constantly thinking about profit, loss, I need to just detune and remove all those noise from my mind and only focus on mechanical execution of my strategy. Now, I'm saying this because of the 2 days that I had on Tuesday and then the trades that I had on Friday. I didn't take these trades, and the reason why I didn't take this trade, this was not because of I didn't trust my strategies. This on Tuesday, I didn't take this trade simply because I wasn't on my desk at this time to take this trade. So that also, it's something else that I need to see how to improve so that it doesn't happen again. But on Friday, I didn't take this trade simply because I just didn't take the trade. Not because I didn't see it, but I didn't trust my strategy enough to take this trade on Friday, because to be honest, most of the time the trades that occurs on Fridays, they don't hold very well, but you do tend to have those once in a while trades that happen. And I believe that no strategy is perfect, so you have to trust it enough to execute it 100%. That is how the strategy edge will play out eventually. So I was supposed to take this trade, but I didn't take the trade because I wasn't I didn't trust the strategy. I didn't trust the setup on this particular day enough to take the trade. So overall, on the trades that I took on Monday and then the trade that I took on Tuesday, these were according to the strategy. So I'm happy about that. And the way that I also managed the risk was according to my rules of how I'm supposed to be trading. So that was also good. And then the trade entry mistake that I made on MT5, that is something else that I need to also iron out on the coming weeks. But the biggest lesson is still the same main lesson: 100% flawless execution of my strategy at all times. And if the setup presents itself, I need to take it, regardless of how price looks like, regardless of where the price is going. If it is going bullish and it's telling me to sell, I need to sell. If it is going bearish and it's telling me to buy, I need to buy. That level of execution is where I need to reach. So yeah, that is something that I will be walking away with this week and making adjustment for the coming weeks. So at the end of this week, I am still profitable. The profit itself is not that much. I haven't done much this week. I haven't moved forward a lot. I haven't moved backward a lot. I am just there. Like I'm just stuck, as you can see here. It is not a good place to be. I would prefer if I was like I made significant gains, if I was at least 4-5% up, heading to the 8% profit target. But like I've been saying since the beginning, the goal here is to make sure that I follow my strategy 100%, to be disciplined enough in my executions, in the way that I manage my psychology. So if I fail this challenge, but I was able to follow my strategy 100%, that is a success for me, because that shows that I can actually be disciplined enough to follow a strategy, rather than being, let's say, 8% up, but then most of the trades were impulsive trades. That is not a good thing for me, and I will not consider that as a profit, as a good thing moving forward. So I will continue to sit by this and making sure that all trades moving forward are the trades that matches my strategy. That is the main goal. So yeah, I think that will be the end of the review for this week. Until next week, remember, process over emotions. Take care.